Are you excited for tomorrow? Are you excited for tomorrow? Yes. Listen, tomorrow, South Dakota proves our state motto, under God, the people rule. It's going to be a fantastic day. We're going to send a message across the state of South Dakota that we stand for freedom, that we stand for hope, that we stand for unity, that we stand for those who want to have personal responsibility over themselves. That's what we stand for. Thank you. Bless her heart. Listen, I want to introduce my family. Is that okay if I do that? Yes. Tonight, we have the first gentleman of South Dakota with us tonight. Would you please welcome Kristi Noem? Welcome. We also have my daughter Kennedy and brand new son-in-law, Tanner, if you would stand. And then Booker is here as well. Booker, would you stand as well? Thrilled that they're here. Kyle and Cass and Miss Addie are not here tonight. I know. Everybody, oh. Listen, Miss Addie's got to rest up for a big night tomorrow night, right? Yes. And I know you've all been waiting to see if my mother was here because she's pretty famous now. She's a really big deal. I don't know if you've seen her on TV a little bit, but she told me she went grocery shopping the other day and 2 people asked for her autograph. She said, Kristi, I'm going to have to start wearing sunglasses now. And I was like, you are, Mom. But I did tell her that tonight we would make sure that my family has all learned the TikTok dance. Stand up, and everybody, can you all do the TikTok dance? If do it for my mom, do it for Corinne. Perfect. They've got it. Come on, you guys got it. Can you all do it? I don't even know if that is a TikTok dance. We're making it up, right? It is now in her world, but listen, we are so excited about tomorrow because of the message that it's going to send, not just to the state of South Dakota, but to the entire country. South Dakota is proof that Republican values work. All we did in this state is what Republicans have always said we believed. We just did it, and it worked. It created opportunity. Created opportunity for families, for businesses, and for them to pursue the dreams that they've always had for many, many years to come. Listen, thousands of people in this state are exiting and abandoning the Democratic Party. They're abandoning the Democratic Party because of their extremism. They're embracing socialism, embracing woke and the agenda that we've seen so much on the national stage. That's what the Democrats in this state have embraced as well, and that's why so many people in this state that just want a government that will respect them, while they're leaving that party and they're re-registering as Republicans. And that's because people recognize that what we're doing here is right. And unfortunately, the last several years, it's been unique. It's been unique what South Dakota has done, and it's worked because of all of you, because your belief and your faith in God and in family and in your freedom, and your willingness to take personal responsibility as well. Listen, South Dakota has been a shining city on a hill to this country by what has happened here. 4 years ago when I ran to be your governor, I told you that if you trusted me with the responsibility to lead you, that we would build stronger families, that we would continue to grow this state, grow our economy, that we would increase incomes, and that people would be happier here. We've done exactly that. In fact, during the pandemic, we made very different decisions than any state. We were the last state that never once had a shutdown. We didn't even define what an essential business was, because I don't believe governors have the authority to tell you that your business isn't essential. We didn't mandate anything. I just told you that I would trust you and that we would make sure that we got through these challenging times together. Listen, in South Dakota today, We have the #1 economy in the country. People's incomes are going up faster here than anywhere else. We are growing at 10 times the national average. We passed a bill that is the strongest bill to protect girls' sports in the nation. We believe in fairness. We believe that our girls deserve an opportunity to compete on a level playing field. We have banned the teaching of CRT in our classrooms. And we want our students to get a true and an honest history of this country, of our state and our Native American tribes. It's exactly what we've done. Listen, we are fighting a federal government that gets up every single day trying to take away your liberties and your freedoms. In the last 3 years, we saw a federal government that said to people, you can't gather in big groups. And people from state to state, based on their governor and what they told them, gave up their freedom of assembly. Because governors in certain states told people that they couldn't go to church, people rolled over and they gave up their freedom of religion. Because the government is telling different social media platforms what people can say and can't say, they're giving up their freedom of speech. And here in South Dakota, you will never take away our Second Amendment rights. In fact, the very first bill I signed as your governor was constitutional carry. And we since then have removed all the fees on permits in the state of South Dakota. We're the only state in the country, well, it won't cost you a penny to exercise your Second Amendment rights. Now, leadership has consequences, and we're fighting inflation. We're fighting Joe Biden, what he's doing to destroy this country, how he's driving up gas prices, food prices. Even people in South Dakota are feeling it every day. Families that are on budgets, senior citizens that don't have a chance to go out and work an extra hour or find extra dollars to pay their bills are finding a very difficult time to make ends meet. Single moms with kiddos in our state are trying to figure out how they're going to buy those new basketball shoes or a winter coat for their kids. We're going to repeal the sales tax on grocery store items to help every single family in the state of South Dakota. Because we have followed Republican principles, our economy has permanently grown. Permanent revenues coming in, even though we have a low tax environment. We're going to do the biggest tax cut in South Dakota's history and help every single family fight off what Joe Biden is doing with inflation and his policies that are impacting us. It was President Ronald Reagan who reminded everybody what inflation is. Inflation is the price that we pay for government benefits that people thought were free. And that is what happened to this country. The policies, the programs that people have spent out of control for decades is catching up to us, and it's accelerated by what Joe Biden is doing in the spending spree and the debt accumulation that's going on. Here in South Dakota, I will get up every single day and defend our state and your rights and make sure we are fighting up the effect of what the Biden White House is doing to our people here. I will continue to fight for you. Now, you've heard some fantastic speakers tonight, and I wanted you to get the chance to hear from all of them because it's important that you vote for them tomorrow. It's important that we have a Secretary of State that understands election integrity. It's important that we have a treasurer who cares where your dollars go and that they're spent appropriately. It's important that we have a Public Utilities Commission that makes sure that we have public utilities that are balanced and work for each of you. It's important that we have regulations that make sense here, that we have an Attorney General who cares about law and order and has the back of our law enforcement officers. It's important you have a Lieutenant Governor that understands what it is to have legislative priorities and work with people across the aisle to make sure we're doing what's best for South Dakota. All the candidates that you've heard from have been absolutely amazing and have my full endorsement. And listen, Dusty Johnson is going to help retire Nancy Pelosi once and for all. Sorry, Nancy. Sorry, not sorry. Listen, Governor Glenn Youngkin was here in South Dakota this week And I think his story was incredibly powerful. He talked to me about how when he ran for governor in Virginia just last year, how he continued to focus on what mattered in his classrooms, what his parents were concerned about, what happened on Main Street. He also told of how the first day after he was sworn in to be governor, he did 11 executive orders to fix things. The very day that he took office, he did an executive order to lift the mask mandates in school. He did an executive order to lift the vaccine mandates. He did an executive order to ban critical race theory in their classrooms in Virginia. Overnight, Glenn Youngkin fixed a lot of what was wrong in Virginia. He reminded us that in South Dakota, it can go bad that quickly too. If you have a governor that sits in the governor's office that doesn't respect your rights, doesn't respect your personal decisions for your families, overnight, Jamie Smith could turn South Dakota into an absolute disaster for your families and your businesses. I want to remind you that people in this state have a very clear choice tomorrow. There could not be two more different people than Jamie and myself and the role that we see government playing in your lives. I want to remind you that for the last several years, it was Jamie Smith who was attacking me for not locking down our state. He was the legislator bringing bills to mandate you had to get a vaccine to keep your job. Jamie was the one pushing and mandating that people and our kids wear masks in their schools. He voted against banning critical race theory. He hated and voted against our bill that protected girls' sports. Listen, guys, this guy is a mess, and we cannot afford in South Dakota to give him one day in the governor's office. That's why I want to ask you for help. I need you to leave here tonight inspired, optimistic and hopeful about what we can do the next 4 years, what we can do to build stronger families, paid family leave, help child care and daycare access in the state, what we can do for housing, how we can, all these new families that have come to our state, make them feel right at home and continue to live the dream like all of us who've lived here our entire lives. Listen, South Dakota is special. South Dakota is special, and it needs to be protected and defended every single day for it to stay that way. So with your help, tomorrow, we will have a fantastic day in this state. Republicans, if Republicans vote, we win. It's just the facts. If Republicans show up tomorrow and they vote, we win. I need you to go get your neighbors. I need you to, when you show up to work, say, did you vote? I need you to call your kids. Did you go vote yet? You need to go get everybody that you know and help them, remind them, take them to go vote tomorrow. It's that important. I would have never dreamed the last 3 years I'd see a country change like we saw our country change. We realized that people used fear to control other people, and they used it to grab power. And it's so important there's a state like South Dakota that continue to stand for what is the best of America. With your help and your willingness to go vote and keep working, I know that we will win. I know we will get across the finish line. And Brian and I would be so humbled if you'd continue to trust us, to continue to lead our state. I believe that the best is yet to come. God bless you. May God bless the great state of South Dakota. You have a wonderful evening. Thank you.